welcome to Worth the War. My name is Kimmy. The purpose of this channel is rethinking love, preparing people for love and relationship and how to avoid abuse. If you think we can do a better job with these things than we're doing in the modern culture, then you have found the exact right channel. I am really excited for today's topic, although it's not a light one. This one will be good for people, all people that are people of faith, especially for parents who are trying to raise kids and protect them in that environment. How to keep your kids safe in church is a very important part of being able to protect their hearts. We hear more and more news stories about things that are happening that can just raise the hair on the back of our neck. So whether you're a Christian and your kids go to church, or your kids are in a synagogue or a mosque, however your child worships, this video is going to be for you, and we're going to get right to the content like we always do. This video is very personal to me. I wasn't raised in a faith. I wasn't given a worldview in my childhood. So I spent 15 or 20 years trying to figure out what I believed to be true and adopting a worldview. After having done that, I was grieved to see sometimes these institutions are used to abuse, to take away financial, physical, sexual, and emotional standing from someone and just abusing them. That's heartbreaking. And I've listened to the stories of those who it's been done to, and I think we have to give them empathy and support and give them encouragement that they were absolutely wronged. But one of the other things that I see is that there is a group of people who think that the answer to this is eradicating religion from the face of humanity. And I'm going to make a stand here early on in the video. That, to me, would be hypocritical. Abuse happens because of titles and positions in almost every institution known to man. If we're going to get rid of religion because there is abuse happening there, then we better not send our kids or ourselves to the grocery store, to the library, to universities, to schools, working in filmmaking companies, or being on sports teams. We could go on for an hour about the lists of places that we've heard about systemic abuse. So let's make a stand here early that religion is not the only place that our kids are going to have to be protected. Let's look at the problem here, which is actually the abuser, and how to keep our kids safe in the face of abuse. Together, let's look at 3 ways we can protect ourselves and our children when it comes to our involvement with religious institutions, organizations, and leaders. First of all, it's really important that we all understand that different people are drawn to religious organizations for very different reasons. Some people do go for a sense of community. They want to learn more. They want to be more learned just in what it is that they believe. Or maybe they want to find a place to be able to pour out. Whatever those reasons are, lots of people are drawn for those and in different levels in each area. But there are also those who are drawn there because of titles, or because being involved in it makes them look like a better person. In other areas of life, they might be called posers, people who want to hold certain titles or places so that people will say, oh, isn't that great? I can trust them. Not everybody is drawn with good intent, and it's important that we don't go into that cynically, but we go into that with great, clear awareness. The first thing that we need to make sure that our kids know before they walk into these settings is that whether they're going into a youth group setting, a classroom setting, or a worship setting, that external things about people should not make them feel safe. They may share a lot of the same ideas or have a similar background. They may have very easy conversations with people. That doesn't mean that they're safe. And I don't mean that you make them all scared, but you teach them what a person is and who a person is can't be revealed in words. It has to be revealed over time. So walk into those situations enjoying the sameness, but knowing that doesn't translate into safety. Another way to put this is that respect is something that's earned over time. We're not telling you to take your child, set them aside, and tell them to walk into environments with a cynical idea of who people are. Rather, we're saying respect is earned over time. So we teach them that external respect is easy. Waiting for someone to finish talking, to be respectful when they are talking, to be kind to people. That's something we should offer to everybody. But the kind of respect that actually is better defined as trust is a very different thing, and it's something that's earned over time. It cannot be earned with words. So if we can get that through to our children, and to ourselves quite honestly, we're going to find avoiding abuse becomes exponentially easier. This second one, in abuse story after abuse story we hear, is the open door to abuse, and that is alone time with your child. When someone has authority, even if it's just a few years that they're older than them, and they're going to spend time instructing or pouring into or listening to your child, alone time is not a good idea. Both careers and people have been ruined by being accused of doing things they may or may not have done, and we know that kids have been destroyed by it as well. Alone time isn't required for building relationship or pouring into each other. You can even find ways to be in the same coffee shop and not be listening, to go see a movie and not be involved with, but actually have somebody making sure that things are safe. We aren't trying to be paranoid about abuse. What we're trying to do is protect both the person pouring into our child as well as our child. And that's a pretty simple thing that we can do. Remember, transportation is a very key part of this. Abusers love cars. They're safe and they're quiet and they are perfect target points. So make sure that your child isn't driving a lot with someone. It's worth your time and it's worth your gasoline to make sure that they're safe. Considering that we're only covering 3 things in this video, I'm quite sure you realize it's not an exhaustive list. But if you implement these 3 things, they will go a long way in helping you achieve safety and protection for your child. This third one is secrecy. When you hear of secrecy within your child's relationship with their organization, their church, their youth group, their leaders, even their peers, that should be a red flag to you. Secrecy has no place in a position of learning and education, whether it's religious or otherwise. So make sure that your child is able to be open with what they're learning. The truth is, we don't put our kids in religious institutions to be brainwashed. They will decide what they believe or what they don't believe. We give them a worldview and we say, this is the one that I believe is true and that it will help you and give you a better life. We want to make sure that whatever they're being taught aligns with that. And if we don't know what it is, how could we possibly do that? So make sure that it's not a one-way situation, that you're able to talk about it. And the really cool thing about that is that opens up conversations between you and your child, that you can work out your own faith, your own ways of looking at things together as a family. Of course, they're going to be able to say no or disagree with you. And that is absolutely right. They're going to be their own people. And that's what the goal is. But if we love them, we're going to give them exactly what we think will help them to have a good life. And that's a parental responsibility. So make sure you protect it. If you hear that there are secrets going on, call the whistle. That's not an environment you want your child in. So there you are. You've got a toolkit on how to protect your child. Remember, make sure that they are very aware external respect doesn't warrant internal trust, so that your child understands that who they say they are needs to be revealed over time and respect needs to be earned. Number 2, be protective of your child's time. Make sure that you understand who they're driving with, who they're with. Make it really clear that you don't have a desire for your child to be alone with a leader in a small and enclosed place, that you actually are protecting not only your child and their peers, but also the leader themselves. And lastly, the secrecy needs to firmly be planted on the top of your red flag list when it comes to any kind of teaching and educational system, especially when it comes to ones that involve morality and other things. The worldview of a religion is so encompassing of who we are that you need to be very careful that they don't try to hijack that with secrecy. There's no place for it in this kind of environment. That doesn't mean your child shouldn't be able to confide, and most organizations have a full understanding if they confide something that in any way reveals that they're in danger, that they need to report that to you. Confiding and secrecy are 2 very different things. Don't be confused by them. Stand strong in the fact that secrecy doesn't have any place here. I am so grateful that you spent the time listening to this and being part of this journey as we try to help parents and ourselves understand ways that we can pursue healthy love and avoid abuse. I know there's a lot of other channels you could be watching, so it means the world. I would love it if you would subscribe and join and comment and engage. We're building a community here on Twitter and Instagram and on our website at worththewar.com, and we would love to have you with us. Thanks again for being here and have a great rest of your day.